Even though Nick Saban hasn't coached a game in nearly 2 years, a shadow is still cast over college football, especially in this college football playoff where five of the 12 head coaches uh, were in Saban's coaching tree. They can trace their roots back to him. So that's almost half of the field of the college football playoff. A little background on Saban. He was born in 51. He is widely regarded as the GOAT of college football. He won 7 national championships, 6 at Alabama and 1 at LSU. So, guys, there's a lot about Nick Saban, obviously, that makes him great. All the talent that he's developed, all the players that he's really touched. But one thing that we do have to touch on is not only the talent that he's created on the field, but the people that he's affected on the sidelines. So, again, he was born in 51. He's had a great career, 7 national championships, 9 SEC titles, and coached 4 Heisman winners in Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Devontae Smith, and Bryce Young. Uh, he had compiled an overall record of 292 wins, 71 losses, and a tie, and he retired after the 2023 season. Is now an analyst for College Game Day. So, what is a coaching tree, guys? So, coaching tree is basically a family tree, but for coaches, it keeps track of the assistants who have worked under a specific head coach and then become head coaches at their own respective programs. So, the influence that Nick Saban has had is massive. People like Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning, even if you go into the NFL, you can see several other coaches that he has had an effect on. He is widely known. He is a I don't want to necessarily say a theologian of sorts, but essentially he's a theologian. He thinks football and the best way to attack certain things. I guess theologian. He's a kind of philosophy, I guess. Regardless, and what he embodies in his preparation is discipline, player development, and adapting to football. So obviously, football has changed and it keeps changing. And one thing, obviously, that pushed Saban over the edge was the NIL and all that. But regardless, his coaching tree is well and alive in 2025, especially in the college football playoff and in the NFL. So let's look at where he got his start. Nick Saban started at Toledo, went to Michigan State, LSU, the Miami Dolphins, and then finished his career off his 16 years as the head coach at the University of Alabama. Um, it's insane that his coaching tree goes all the way back to who is widely regarded as another GOAT in college football, who's Bear Bryant. As of this year, over a dozen head coaches have direct ties to him. His influence spans over all of the Power Four conferences as well as the NFL, with Brian Daboll and Dan Quinn, who are with the Giants and the Commanders. Um, in the 2025 season, coaches from his tree lead teams to a combined win percentage above 700. That is incredible. Incredible. Obviously, Saban took um, he learned his process from other people. He modeled his coaching style after the likes of Bill Belichick and other coaches like that. So he himself has a great role models that he has depended on to move into what obviously his retirement, but to create this coaching tree that he has under him. Let's look at Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart has been one of the most dominant college football coaches in the last several years. He has 108 wins and 17 losses at Georgia since 2016, two national championships in 2021 and 2022, four SEC titles, a 2025 college football playoff berth, obviously. And he literally takes everything that he has from Nick Saban. He grew up in Nick Saban's system as his defensive coordinator. He's learned a ton from Nick Saban. Let's move on to Dan Lanning, who is the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, another great coach who served as the outside linebackers coach at Alabama in 2015, and he moved to Georgia's defensive coordinator in 2018 with Kirby Smart. Uh, Technically, it's an indirect tie, but I think you got to tie it in. He was there. He was part of that staff with Saban, moved with Smart, and now he obviously has grown into his own at Oregon, where he has an 11-1 record this year and is in the college football playoff, obviously, this week. He is a great defensive mind, and I'm excited to see what he does outside of the SEC at Oregon. Mario Cristobal, another coach in the playoff, who is obviously the head coach at Miami. He was Alabama's assistant head coach and offensive line coach from 2013 to 2016. He got Miami to a 10-2 record in 2025 with a playoff bid. Focuses on physicality in the trenches. Obviously, if you're a former line coach, you are going to be concerned with what goes on in the trenches. And he has definitely taken Miami and used that as an opportunity to improve upon the struggles that he had at Oregon. Lane Kiffin. Guys, Lane Kiffin, before he got to Alabama, had a very up and down, and people have been very critical of his career there because of what happened at Tennessee. Obviously, going to USC, and it didn't work out. He ended up with Nick Saban for a few years before he went on to Florida Atlantic and ultimately ended up at Ole Miss, where he's led them to a playoff before he bounced to go to LSU. And I think Nick Saban was a huge part of him doing that. He was Alabama's offensive coordinator from 2014 to 2016. He has great offenses, top 5 nationally. He has kind of adapted his play calling from a pro style to more of the spread offense that he runs now. He's 42-20 at Ole Miss and has multiple 10-win seasons. Another coach who isn't currently in the playoff this year, but another mentionable coach is Steve Sarkisian, who had some career struggles, went to Alabama with Nick Saban as an offensive coordinator in 2019 and 2020, won the Broyles Award for the nation's top assistant, and he led Texas to a 9-3 record this year. They missed the college football playoffs, but they are a great football team. He obviously rebuilt his reputation from where he was at USC, and now he is a great football coach there at Texas who expects to win each and every year. Curt Cignetti for the Indiana Hoosiers. He was the recruiting coordinator and wide receivers coach in 2010, and some of the great wide receivers that have come out of Alabama were directly impacted by Cignetti, and obviously he's taken Indiana, to their first playoff berth, and Cignetti credits Saban for really being able to get the best out of his players, and that's something that Cignetti has taken into account at Indiana. He took that program and flipped it in 2 years to go compete for a national championship, a college football playoff. Not only are they going to compete in the college football playoff? Now they are ranked in the top. They rank the number one team in the country. Brent Key, the head coach at Georgia Tech, they did not make the playoffs this year, but they are a great football program, especially after Brent Key has taken over. He was Alabama's offensive line coach from 2016 to 2018. He finished this year with a 9-3 record at Georgia Tech, and got to watch out for him to be a breakout coach in college football. So the college football in 2025, once again, 5 of the 12 teams. Pete Golding, we got to mention him, who is now the head coach at Ole Miss, is part of the Saban tree. So it's a testament to Saban and his preparation, what he's been able to do in order to grow a coaching tree like this. And I think it's very impressive when you look at what he's done and his ability to get, not only the players but coaches to the next level, to allow them to get head coaching jobs where they can lead programs in the direction that they've been able to go. And I think they would definitely look back and credit Saban for taking them in and helping them to learn. And now, obviously, beyond the field, Saban is a media personality on College Game Day. Everybody's gotten to see another side of him that you've never gotten to see before. Saban's role on him keeps him vocal on, obviously, issues like the playoff expansion, NIL, and coaching adaptations. He has been very critical of certain teams, especially in the SEC, and how they're handling the changes. But he definitely still talks about player development and NFL pipelines. And so, guys, it's just been a crazy career for him, a great career for him. He may have stepped off the sideline, but his coaching tree endures. He's still calling plays in college football's biggest moments. And we have to see, will another Saban alum win a natty? So, hey, guys, give me some feedback on this coaching tree, what you think about the possibilities of everything that he has going. And it's a great story to see all of these coaches continue to compete. But even after Saban has retired from college football, it's so cool to see the effect that he still has on the sport.